Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy AdrianGames or AdrianReacts or whatever you want to call it, back in the building. And today we are back with another DH reaction. Now this one is when the cameraman doesn't lock in, and this one's about a DDG situation where his cameraman quit because, you know, I guess how he was getting paid or whatever. Now I did hear about it, but yeah, we're gonna look more into this and see what's up with that. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what else you want to see me react to and your thoughts. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this reaction.
This is gonna be the one time I agree with doo-doo garbage, because this whole cameraman drama seems kind of disingenuous. And as much as I critique DDG, I'm not just this super biased asshole who's gonna always hate on him just because. Y'all gotta understand that streaming and content creation is a business now. It's not 2016, it's not 2012, back when people were doing this solo dolo. Niggas have teams and people have whole opportunities that they need to make the most of. And in the case of DDG and his cameraman, after careful analysis, I can say that I honestly feel like DDG has a point. If you can't do an easy job while filming one of the most important streaming events in the modern era, you might be tripping. And if you're having trouble being a cameraman, you lose all the leverage that you have in your business proposal. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, twin. Today, I just want to explain why I feel like DDG has a point in this drama, and I want to talk a little bit about business. So if that tea interests you, you might as well come and tap in.
I'm not gonna lie, I think he might have a point already too, because bro, like I already kind of did hear about the situation, but let's get into this.
Okay, so to quickly introduce you to the drama in the situation, you have to understand that DDG and his last cameraman part ways, but more specifically, his last cameraman quit. And following his act of quitting, he came out and kind of expressed some of his grievances in his side of the situation. And I'd be lying if I say it didn't insinuate that the conditions that DDG put him through were bad. And if you're going to insinuate that someone is putting you through bad workplace conditions, you gotta be able to back it up. But first and foremost, I need to show you guys some of the clips that influence him quitting and influence the tension between DDG and his cameraman. And this all goes back to Streamer University, because the crux of the issue is that, number one, this guy was clearly just not built for being a cameraman. He wasn't built for being in this physical environment that included running and chasing around people on camera.
Yeah, bro, like if you're not built to be a cameraman, like you're missing all the little angles, or you can't even like keep up with nobody, yeah, you shouldn't have even did it.
Campus. And not only that, but he was just struggling on centering DDG in front of the camera and keeping him as the main focus, being that he is the content creator. But I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna show you guys a couple clips that kind of put this into perspective.
Man, they ended my stream, didn't melting out this bitch. I ain't gonna lie, brother to brother. Sprite.
Bro, what the heck? See,
bro,
this is what I'm talking about.
Never mind, clip gone, never mind. We'll do it later. Chat this bitch.
You ruined the whole clip, bro. You gotta get all that. You gotta be. Why was he still aiming the camera on Funny Mike? I don't get it. Fire him immediately. I would have. I don't know why DDG even gave him any more chances after that.
We gotta have a conversation, brother. Pay attention to me and just my eyes and my fingers. If I'm saying something and I'm pointing, that means I want you to look at that person. If I look at them, look at them. If I'm talking to somebody and they start talking, turn that.
Yeah, man. See? Fire him immediately, bro. I don't blame the cameraman for quitting, bro. You can't even freaking keep up with nobody.
Wait!
This dude talking about wait.
Wait!
Yeah, man. Wrap it up.
Who is David? That nigga got a nigga named David.
Yo, that dude's trying to let you know, bro. He got little movements to let you. He got little emotes to let you know. Like that's how you know you gotta wrap it up, man. You gotta give it up, bro. Man, yeah, I don't get it. I mean, it's not even that I don't get it. Like, I see why the cameraman quit.
dissect here. Let's just start with the first clip. Now in the first clip, that is the most clear-cut and dry example of just how this guy is fumbling the bag when it comes to being a cameraman. DDG was trying to set up a clip between him and Reggie and the other guy that was there. I don't really know his name, but that doesn't really matter. But instead of him pointing the camera at DDG, he points the camera at Funny Mike, who is walking off screen in a sense.
Like what?
Because when it comes to streaming, this is basically live action.
The dude already walked off the frame and you're still gonna aim the camera at him while DDG's talking. Like, that makes no dang sense. It makes no sense, bro. Dude's looking at you like, what, bro? What are you still aiming at me for?
Television. There's whole storylines, there's characters, and when a character is not the focus, why are you pointing the camera at them? And following that little fumble, DDG has to kind of coach him on what to do. And then in the following clip, it's the same sort of rudimentary camera work, along with the fact that this guy just can't keep up with the action that is happening.
That was terrible.
If you watch my Streamer University videos,
that was terrible. And I'm gonna be looking for a cameraman real soon. I already got people that were telling me they'll be down to do it and whatnot, but yeah, like if I get a cameraman, they gotta be getting the angles, bro. They gotta be a good cameraman. Please have some experience, bro. We cannot have it like that. No. Heck no.
Talked about how a lot of this stuff was very youthful, it was very playful, and people were getting very physical. There was a lot of chasing segments, there was a lot of running, there was just a lot of physical activity, and the cameraman
people
could not keep
falling
up with that. And I don't really have to explain, but that is a big display of spectacle, and that's good for the clips, that's good for the content. And if you can't get the spectacle on stream, you are actively hurting the content creator's ability to create content, especially as their cameraman. And then the final clip that I put was the fact that Shay Frost started laughing on the ground because he peeped that DDG was once again trying to
signaling like, bro, turn the camera to what I'm looking at, and you know, in whatever he was saying in the last clip. But Shay seen that and started laughing, bro, and you couldn't even record that right. So it's like, I see why he quit, but I heard that there was more to it. So let's see what that's about.
To coach his cameraman. I shouldn't have to say it, but Streamer University is one of the biggest content creator events of this year, and DDG having to give this guy on the fly corrections is really bad. Like I said at the start, Streamer U is a business, and this is essentially the golden ticket of business opportunities. And if DDG has to constantly correct this guy, how can he properly capitalize off of the opportunity? And I knew it was really bad when cenat himself said, hey, your cameraman is ass.
There's a new cameraman. He got an ass.
And so when you have the actual creator of Streamer University / Dean Cenat telling you that your cameraman is ass, that is not a good look. And once again, going back to the whole business side.
And bro, I was like looking in comment sections about this, like I seen this Instagram post about this, and there was comment sections that they were like, bro, like cameramans be getting paid a lot and more than, like, they were against DDG really, but to be honest, like, that cameraman's terrible, low key. Yeah, like, he needs a little bit more practice, if you ask me. I don't know. Like, they probably do make a lot, or they probably can make a lot if they take it to that level, but this cameraman needs a little bit more, like, yeah, like from what I'm seeing right now.
Of things. Part of business is having leverage, and you lose a lot of leverage when you don't do a good job. You lose a lot of leverage when the creator of the biggest modern day streaming event is telling your employer that you are not good. And I mention this because a lot of the backlash that's going towards DDG is about how he isn't paying his cameraman a lot and how he isn't compensating him enough. And to a degree, I definitely see that perspective, but you have to understand that being a cameraman is not that hard of a job. It is a very easy thing to do. It's not like being an editor, which actually takes a lot of time. It's not like a cameraman has to use his own creative energy to produce a product. All he's doing is holding a camera. And when you're fumbling during the biggest streaming event in modern times, you are losing your leverage. I'm not gonna speak on it too much because I actually want y'all to see the clips first.
To headphones, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of butt nowhere in Arkansas. In my experience being a camera operators are like at the bottom. You know, they treat us like at the bottom. Everything is our fault. I hear from a lot of other camera operators that I was talking to they also cramped up. Body was giving out due to dehydration. You know, they needed to have a couple minutes to themselves to recharge. You know, all in all, you know, regardless of what may occur at Streamer University, it just didn't work out between me and him. It was mutual. No hard feelings. I got a lot of love for him, and I hope it's mutual.
Is it really that bad? I mean, I don't know how heavy the camera equipment is or how long they're filming for, but all you're doing is holding like a device and you're walking and you're following the person. It might be like a lot to focus on though. And then you got to think about it too, because the cameraman can't eat if they're filming somebody all day. So they got to like, they do need a little break and whatnot. So I do understand where they're coming from on that part, but it is what you signed up for.
Mutual.
I just think it's funny how he talked about having a lot of love for DDG, but before any of that, he just says, yeah, being a camera operator, we're just at the very bottom, and my fellow camera operators, my colleagues, my contemporaries, yeah, they just talked about just being treated horribly, and their bodies were given out due to dehydration. Now granted, if that is happening, that is horrible, but in the case of DDG, I can't say that that is 100%.
I'm saying dang like I didn't just hear him say that.
Specifically, but when you frame it like that, what are you insinuating? Especially because DDG's own side just says everything on the contrary to this whole being at the bottom narrative that he's saying, but let's just continue.
When you think you're prepared, you can always be more prepared. If you're going to be a full-time camera operator for a talent, especially of that caliber,
yeah, know what you're getting yourself into, bro.
Prepared to treat it like the mafia. Nothing comes before the mafia. Nothing comes before the talent. Your family, your mental, physical health, your errands, what you have to do at the house, talent comes first. You'll get a phone call at 1:30 that they need you at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and you are obligated to, you know, fulfill that.
I don't mess with doo-doo garbage as much as the next guy, but comparing him to the mafia seems a little crazy to me.
That's what I was about to say. Like the mafia is like, bro, come on, you serious? He's a celebrity that films very on the daily, so it's like gotta be ready for that stuff. He needs a cameraman. But yeah, I want to have multiple cameramans that, you know, if this person isn't available, I can have this person come through and do it. If this person doesn't want to do it today or can't, then this person could come through.
Is it just me, or is he putting 10s on 2s? And I say this because you have to understand that you got to be a little aware, just a little bit. You're working for an influencer. You're not working a normal office 9 to 5. You're not working in the standard job industry. So obviously the flexibility goes both ways. You might be a little more free than other people, but you also might be a little more tight than other people. Pause. What I mean is that, for example, he might travel often, but at the cost of traveling often, he needs to stay near the influencer. He needs to stay near the talent.
Yeah.
Also, I understand that he has family, but he is being a cameraman for a content creator, a big one at that. And these dudes are typically bachelors. They don't really have any responsibilities that are tying them down. And even if they do have responsibilities, like DDG's child, he is still constantly traveling. I'm not trying to dismiss the fact that he wants to be able to see his family, or if he felt like his schedule was too tight, or if he felt like there wasn't enough breathing room when it came to his job. But you gotta be able to read the room, and you gotta have some level of awareness. Why would you work with an influencer of that size while not being aware of the things that you would have to give up? And I'm gonna come back to this cameraman, but before that, let's just look at some of DDG's response to it, because I think he had a lot of things that kind of put this situation into perspective, at least for me.
Niggas will indirectly try to diss working for me, but niggas was so excited. Like, that shit blowing me, bro. Like, you don't know how much cameraman's paid. Tell him how much he was paid at this point, bro. Like, I don't give a no. Let me put this in your brain. No cameraman will ever make as much money as the nigga they're filming.
Now, I know on the surface that seems crazy, and I've seen a lot of people interpret this as DDG isn't taking care of his employees, but he's not even wrong, bro. That's an objective fact. If you are the cameraman, why would you make as much as the person who is on screen? Why would you make as much as the person who built the brand up? That just doesn't make
Yeah, if he was like, if you're filming like that and then you're asking for that type of pay, you gotta, man, you in for a rude awakening, bro. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like, and like that's what I was talking about earlier. I was seeing people under the video where DDG was saying this. This was on Instagram though. They were all like, nah, cameramans get paid a lot. They could get paid. But I do see where DDG's coming from in this aspect. Y'all comment down below what y'all think.
Makes sense. And following this, DDG uses the example of someone working in a fast food restaurant, as in McDonald's, and saying if someone is flipping burgers, why would they make as much as the CEO? Because the CEO got to that higher position. And while he didn't say it the best, I still get the spirit of what he's saying. And all he's saying is that there are positions, there's levels, and the cameraman has a lower position than the talent. And I don't think that's crazy to say, bro. Especially because all you're doing is holding a camera and being silent. And before I even sat down to record this video, I talked to some of my friends about this. And being on camera and being the talent, as much as people want to scoff at DDG, that does take a lot of energy. That does take a lot of skill. You have to be entertaining. You have to be sociable. That is much harder than being a silent cameraman who has to follow the talent around. You can't convince me otherwise. But let's continue.
Just because you ain't getting paid $100,000 or whatever the f is expecting, that don't mean a nigga spending. Flying across the world, putting niggas in nice ass hotels, Airbnbs, feeding niggas. Boy, I'm a great boss. I feed my cameraman, y'all. All this shit online where we be joking and shit, cameraman don't eat. No, if we go to Steak 48, you think I'm gonna tell my cameraman to go to In-N-Out? No, get a Wagyu, fuck it. I'm rich as hell.
And when I seen this part, this is when I said, okay, DDG really isn't tripping. So keep in mind, all this cameraman has to do is just follow DDG around with the camera and just move.
Yeah, like if it's not even like that, like you getting food, he's over here bringing you to hotel, like you probably got to go to streaming university for free. You shouldn't have anything to complain about. Like this is what you signed up for, like I've been saying, and this, yeah, I don't know, man. It's probably like a little low blow shot that he was trying to throw at DDG now that he quit, given the fact that, you know, he probably don't got a lot of money like that. He probably, you know, quit and doesn't even have a lot of bread like that, or just not enough as DDG. And so he's kind of like trying to like throw little low blows. But yeah, if you want to be famous and stuff like that, bro, you got to get your ass on YouTube, get on TikTok or something like that.
Move it left and right depending on who is talking on screen. He's not only getting paid, but he's having all his traveling expenses covered, he's getting free food, and he's getting his housing expenses covered when he is traveling. And it's not like DDG is just buying him goy slop and feeding him McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King. He's getting this man steak.
He's
that
getting
doesn't seem
good
like
food.
that bad of a deal to me. And mind you, DDG already said he can disclose how much he got paid. And minor spoiler, the cameraman never exposed how much he got paid. So I want you to think about that. Basically, bro, what I'm trying to say is that this doesn't seem like a situation where a cameraman is just being mistreated. He's getting free traveling.
I bet you if he did disclose it, it's actually a good amount. Good amount, probably. So I understand where DDG's coming from on this one, bro. I think it was just a low blow shot to fuel the flame, but yeah, man, get your money another way.
Free housing while they're traveling and free food along with a salary. And even though I'm not an influencer crazed man, a lot of people would love to meet their favorite creators. A lot of people would love to meet these famous content creators. So that's a little added bonus for the people who like that. And also, just real quick, I want to get this out the way. His former cameraman Johnny was talking about how $100 are feeling like $20.
What do $100 feel like?
Like $20.
While that isn't definitive proof that DDG was just balling out and paying him a lot of money, just for him to say something like that, he doesn't seem like he's living in poverty or living a harsh life. It actually seems like it's on the contrary. It seems like he leveled up since being DDG's cameraman. And look, while I was researching for this video, I found this tweet, and this is not a verified claim, but this guy is claiming that the cameraman was making 6 bands a month plus free food, travel, and hotel. We do know that the free food, traveling, and hotel is real. Now, if this guy is getting paid 6 bands a month, that is $50,000 a year. And on paper,
that's what I'm saying. See, he was getting paid good, most likely, and he just was blowing his money. Like it's not on DDG.
isn't a lot of money, but here's what you have to consider. DDG is covering food, travel, and hotel expenses. He's already handling a chunk of the bills. A lot of people spend a lot of money on food every single month. A lot of people will spend a lot of money on traveling, but he gets all of these things for free. So once again, I just can't sit up here and act like that's a horrible deal, because a lot of people would kill for this type of opportunity. There's people who are literally working fast food and not making any money at all. When I was in Louisiana and I went to Waffle House, I seen a hiring sign and they said that they were paying niggas $3 an hour. But I'm supposed to sit up here and criticize DDG for
$3 an hour. That is crazy, bro. I think, man, I used to work at McDonald's. And it was, I think at first it was like 16 or something, or 17, and then I'm in California, by the way. And then they did that little 20 an hour thing. But that, bro, that wasn't really like that. It wasn't really like that. And they was like cutting everybody's hours around that time. So I switched jobs. But yeah, bro, that is insane. That's insane. But you were getting free food, like getting paid probably more than 6,000. You were living life, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You wasn't getting paid enough or whatever. I'm on DDG side with this one.
Allegedly paying his cameraman 6 bands a month, plus free food, plus free traveling, plus hotel fees covered, just by this cameraman pointing a camera at him. Y'all niggas crazy. And mind you, the cameraman even said it was enough to pay his bills. The only thing he couldn't do was ball out.
Did you pay good? Look, it paid my bills. It paid for gas. It paid for groceries. And it, you know, it allowed me to DoorDash when I needed. It allowed me, you know, to be all right, you know, not be balling and just like.
Bro, come on, man. Like, you gotta be smarter with your money. That's why. But I feel where he's coming from. But you gotta be smarter with your money. Like, you see this dude saying he's DoorDashing and stuff like that, which is a little bit more expensive. And then you, dude, be smarter with your money, bro. You should have been smarter with your money. A lot of people, they'll get like a big chunk of money and then they'll blow it. They'll be fast to blow it. Like, I feel what he's saying, but then like you got to look at it on that end too. Yeah.
Like all that. No. But
I don't know, bro, but part of me feels like he's being kind of ungrateful. Like I just told y'all, I seen a hiring sign claiming that these people are making $3 an hour in Louisiana. And this guy is talking about how it pays well, not answering the question on how much it pays. And the biggest criticism is that he just wasn't.
You don't want to answer the question because he was paying you good. Like,
balling. And y'all know I criticize DDG a lot, but are we seriously gonna act like this is a horrible deal that he had? He wasn't even doing that much. Now honestly, I think I've made my case when it comes to this whole DDG cameraman situation. Yes, DDG has a lot of things you could criticize him for, but if he is potentially paying his cameraman $6,000 a month just to follow him around with a camera and providing free food, traveling, and hotel expenses, am I supposed to act like that's a bad deal? Hell no. Especially after I just visited a southern state, a red state, where people are making $3 an hour working in the food industry, especially after being in a red state where the economy is literally garbanzo. Like I said, bro, there are people that would literally die for this opportunity, and that guy's biggest criticism
$3 an hour is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. $3 an hour,
but you are literally chilling. And if it's such a big deal, disclose how much you made. Let us all know how much you were making monthly, and really back up them bad workplace conditions. You just can't make these weird insinuations that you're going through it and you're struggling, when honestly there are people that are literally going through it. Being a cameraman for a content creator is infinitely better than working fast food or making $3 an hour, and I'm not gonna let anyone tell me otherwise, because that is a fact. But that's really all I had to say though.
Shoot, that's it with a DH reaction. I genuinely think DDG's not in the wrong at all. You know, the cameraman might feel like he didn't get paid a lot, or it only covered what he had to pay for, like his bills and whatnot, but you're over here not really being smart with your money. That's just how I feel. He's saying DoorDash and stuff like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what else you guys want to see me react to. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. About to get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.